Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Karen Rands. Karen is a speaker, author, and podcast host. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Karen Rands. Karen, welcome.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. So happy to be here.
I go by Siddique. That's fine. Mohammed is okay too.
Okay.
Let me start with
Thank
this.
you, Siddique. It's so
Oh,
good to be here.
I love that energy. If you can keep up for next 15 minutes, that will be good. Where were you? What happened? Who you are surrounded with? That inspired you to do what you do today.
All right. So when I was a kid, I had this vision that I was going to be, I don't know where it came from, but I had this vision I was going to be advising businesses on financial matters around the world and all that kind of stuff. Went off to college, decided I was going to go into economics because I felt like MBA, JD, a combination degree of law and business was what I would need for that. And so loved economics, went to apply, got to lots of business schools and law schools and didn't get into any combined programs. So I chose to go to University of Florida's MBA school. And in between graduation from college and going to grad school, I had a near-death experience. And when you go through something like that, in this case, it was the victim of a sniper on the highway down in Florida. And I was like, okay, I'm destined for greatness, right? But after a year of MBA school, I was like, no more school, go out there, start a good career with IBM, loved it, had an opportunity in 2000 to go out with an entrepreneur. And then I discovered the angel group that I ended up taking over, the network of business angels and investors, and was off to the races. This was what I was meant to do, bringing entrepreneurs and investors together. And recession hit me hard. The Great Recession of 2009, 10, 11 hit me hard. And so when I went off to I was out, my dad had passed or was in the process of passing, and I was going through his memorabilia. And I discovered that he had started his business, his first invention that came to market, and his company that he created his wealth from. He was 50 when he did that, and I had just turned 50, and when I was trying to reboot what I was doing during the recession, I had renamed my podcast the Compassionate Capitalist Show. And I really believed in this idea of compassionate capitalism as a way to create wealth, innovation, all the things that I talk about with that. So I had my aha moment that said, 22, I almost die, for anybody else, right? But it was an inspiration. I choose to be cup half full optimist. And here I am at 50, and I realized my dad had gone on these steps before me to do his greatest thing after he turned 50. I said, if not me, then who? To lead the compassionate capitalist movement. And that was when I, dusted off my stuff and came back and delivered my book, Inside Secrets to Angel Investing, to be the primer to teach about compassionate capitalism, and off to the races where I am now. The rest is so-called history.
Wonderful. What are the top 3 mistakes to avoid?
I would say this combination, I call it sort of like a two-headed Siamese twin. It's the fear of failure and the fear of success. They're intertwined. Not knowing what you don't know. So number 2 is not knowing what you don't know and not being willing to learn it. And 3, not planning properly to really understand, should you be in this business at all as an entrepreneur?
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
Well, so when I took over the Angel Investor Group, so my failure was the failure of the business during the recession. And it's expecting that the existing business that you thought was good is good enough as where it is. So you don't fix it because it ain't broke. But then you come to realize that you don't know what you don't know, and you didn't plan properly. And so what ends up happening is, you didn't pivot. You didn't know what you really needed to do. And then your result is good times is great, and bad times you can't survive. And so those are my lessons.
Before I ask this next question, please give us your best answer, because we are greedy when it comes to learning from the best people like you. What are your top three success secrets that others can model from?
Um, I would say you have to, my top three success goals. I mean, it kind of goes back to planning, because you've got to know who your customer is, got to know whether you're going to make enough money before you decide to leave your job that's justify the warrant of that, and getting your spouse to, or your family to buy in on it. They're your first customer, right? So you've got to get them to buy in on it so they'll support you. And you got to know that you have the ability to make money at it before you ever take it to the next thing. And then the other part is having faith and belief that you can succeed if you do the work. So one of the things that I say is work like it depends on you and pray like it depends on God, and then you might get through to the other end and do what you want to do.
Third one.
Oh, a balance. There is a certain amount of balance that you have to have. You have to rejuvenate yourself and enjoy life and stop and smell the roses. Don't think, you don't want to, you want to have a passion, and so that you don't end up on your deathbed wishing you had done something that you didn't do, but you also don't want to miss out on your children and your family and the important things that make life worthwhile.
Wonderful. We are about to get into lightning round. That means quick question and quick answer. Are you ready?
Yes.
What are you grateful for today?
Health.
How young are you?
57.
You are not 57. You are 18 years old with 39 years experience.
I'll receive that.
What you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be influential in the legacy that people view investing in entrepreneurs and strive to learn how to do it, include and do that like they do with real estate, that it is as respected as real estate as an asset class.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
Well, it goes back to your faith, right? You have to believe that you can get through it. You have to dig down deep and figure out what your experiences are that help you. And if you don't, then you go find somebody that has that experience and can help you get through it.
How do you start your day?
Coffee.
What is the advice you will give to younger yourself?
Well, don't just assume that it ain't broke that you might need to fix it. And really budget. Don't just assume the money's coming. You got to, manage your business as you grow it.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
Well, I think they've got to understand that it's going to generate the revenue that you believe it's going to generate. So it's really kind of blocking and tackling on that. And then you have to inspire them so that they're willing to be an investment of time, support, taking care of the spouse, other stuff, mow the yard, whatever it is that needs to happen in order for you to be successful in your business.
What's the impactful book you have read, and what did you learn from it?
I'm picking out an old one, Little Voice Mastery. I mean, if I can't say my own book, yes, my own book. And the thing it does is it teaches you the little voices that you say in your head that you've been pre-programmed based on things that you learned growing up, biases that you might have. And, it's really about the relationship you have with money that then dictates your relationship with success. And this book helps you overcome those tapes you run in your head.
Why being impactful is important to you?
It's a legacy. We all with little, small, everybody has something that they leave behind in this world as they tread across it. And what is your legacy going to be, and how impactful are you going to be on other people's lives to lift them up?
Who is your mentor, and what's the impact?
I've had so many over the years, but I would probably say Don Jacobs is one of my most reliable that I go to whenever I'm in a bind. And he has helped me see the trees for the forest when I'm in the middle of it and I'm trying to figure out what to do next, or am I crazy in what I'm thinking?
What do you want to be remembered for?
Compassionate capitalism, the compassionate capitalist movement.
Who is your ideal client?
An entrepreneur that has feel a little beat up because they didn't achieve the things that they thought they were going to achieve. They raised some angel round and they've got some passion, something else that they want to do, and they have a bigger vision for where they want to go, and they just need some money to do it, and they need a roadmap to go and get it done. And I can help them with that. I solve those problems in cash and operations.
How can we support you?
I am looking for opportunities to spread my message of compassionate capitalism. And I want people to go to KarenRands.co, my website, get my book if you're thinking about crowdfunding or any kind of angel investing and understanding that. Listen to my podcast and educate yourself on what compassionate capitalism is, how you can play.
Wonderful. KarenRands.co, not .com, okay? KarenRands.co, that's the site. You want to check it out. What would you say about your today's guest experience on the show?
I love the crispness of the process and talking about these things that I believe will benefit our community if people learn it. And I love being a part of what you're doing, as all that you do to put this ideas about creating wealth and financial independence and all of that out there. I'm glad to be a part of what you're doing.
Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate it very much. What would you say as a final word?
Strive.
Strive. That's my final word too. Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.